Get ready for big-time women's action on this week's Unleashed as Rachel Armstrong returns to take on Blair Onyx. Then, the Ebony Prince of the Mat has called out any member of the Dragon Stable to go one-on-one. Get ready, cause Unleashed starts now!
Taylor, did Foltzy say that Rachel's from New Chicago, Indiana?
That's what he said.
I thought she was from Indianapolis. Are we calling Indianapolis New Chicago? That seems arrogant, right?
I'm not from the area.
Or is there really a New... Well, I'm born and raised in Indiana. I never heard of New Chicago. Now, if you're a returning fan at WrestleARTS, you will notice Rachel Armstrong was at our WrestleARTS 11 at the Sahara Grotto. You probably saw it on Unleashed. She had an incredible bout with Alice Crowley, and she was very impressive in that first match. Just great ring presence, highly athletic, just really won over the... What on earth? All right, well, whatever.
Folks love a good referee,
yeah,
I guess.
Hey, I'm a big fan of the rules, Taylor. All right, what can you tell me about Blair Onyx, Taylor? I know that you're a student of the game.
I can tell you that she is not somebody to be trifled with. She was announced from the spider web, and you take a look at her, and I think it's very clear that she is a little bit different.
I do know that Director of Operations David Barker has wanted to bring in Blair Onyx for a while. I believe he said on the Wrestling with Stories podcast, the WrestleARTS podcast, that he was interested. We talked with Heather Monroe, Lainey Luck, Rachel Armstrong, Alice Crowley. The women's division is becoming incredible here in WrestleARTS, and I think Blair Onyx could become a big piece of that puzzle. Do you agree?
I think that Blair Onyx definitely could become a big piece of the puzzle. I also think that Rachel Armstrong, while I admire her spirit, is not going to out-muscle or out-strength Blair Onyx, so she may not want to engage her in that capacity.
I think you're about to be very surprised. The agility of Rachel Armstrong. Maybe one of the most agile wrestlers in all of WrestleARTS. Rachel Armstrong, the shooting star. She can be impressive. Blair Onyx just trying to match Rachel Armstrong. I don't know how well she's able to do it. Look at Armstrong. Look at the... Wow! Well, tell me that was impressive, Taylor, the way she moved around that headlock.
There's no doubt that Rachel Armstrong is going to have the advantage when it comes to agility and flexibility, and Blair Onyx is going to have the advantage when it comes to strength and size. So if these competitors are as smart as I think that they are, they will play to those strengths.
That's a very nice headlock takeover by Onyx, but Armstrong is able to counter it into a head scissors. Oh, wow, Onyx. Oh, wow.
Just did the Exorcist right out of there.
Yeah, geez, I'm terrified.
As well you should be, Jeffrey.
Part of me think Blair Onyx head's going to do a 360 next. Onyx gets the headlock again. Needs to tighten it in, though. Doesn't quite have the tap out. Ooh, wow. And then Onyx uses her power to knock down Rachel Armstrong.
That's exactly what she needs to do. Use that size advantage. Nice roll there by Onyx.
Yeah. Wow. Looking for those big clotheslines, and Armstrong was able to get underneath them. Got to avoid the big shots. Armstrong's... Wow, what a nice spinning takeover there.
Blair Onyx calling for the timeout, but Rachel Armstrong didn't get the whistle.
So far, wow, big kick out.
Not even a one.
So far, both competitors trying to establish their game in the ring. Armstrong has had some absolute wonderful acrobatics, and then there's Onyx with the big shot, and that's what I was just going to say. Armstrong could not take too many of those big shots from Onyx. That'll be night-night. Oh, wow, what a big flying knee, and that could be it right there. Armstrong getting cracked in the head a couple times. That can't be good for her in-ring presence. You're going to start seeing double. You can't move as fast. Your hand-eye coordination starts to go down.
Well, Rachel Armstrong was staying ahead of the race with utilizing her speed and her agility, but Blair Onyx now has this firmly in control.
Oh, wow. Onyx has a 5 count to break any holds, but she's taking all her time to take out the oxygen of Armstrong, which is a smart tactic, right? If you're Blair Onyx, you want to take the conditioning out of Rachel Armstrong, take away her breath, and she's doing just that. Onyx can't give her time to breathe, though. That's not a good strategy by Blair Onyx. You got to stay on Armstrong.
This crowd here at the Irving Theater getting into Blair Onyx's head a little bit, I think, but Blair now back at it in the corner. Got that big boot right across the throat of Rachel Armstrong.
Going right back to it, taking her breath away. Here comes Onyx with a big clubbing back elbow to the corner. Blair Onyx getting some, wow. Picking up the pace a little bit, get a little acceleration off the ropes. Kick out by Armstrong.
I got to tell you, I'm becoming a Blair Onyx fan.
For the last few minutes, she has completely taken over this bout. And then again, she gets the headlock. She's got that arm right underneath Armstrong's neck.
The arachnid treating Rachel Armstrong like the fly in her web.
Armstrong trying to do anything to break the hold. Oh, big clubbing shot.
Well, this crowd was rallying behind Armstrong, and I think it was motivating her, but Blair Onyx cut that off quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Did you see the way that Blair Onyx just walked over Armstrong again, taking out the breath? Armstrong throwing desperation shots just to try and get a clean break, and then Onyx takes the back. Big Russian leg sweep.
Onyx let herself get into a little bit of a war of words with a fan, and it almost cost her, but now she's back in control again. Oh, what a primal scream.
Taylor, what sort of damage does a Russian leg sweep do? Takes out the back, takes out the shoulders, right?
Well, not only that, but it also knocks the wind out of you. So, again, you're back to what you had originally said. You're back to trying to catch that wind, get your breath back, and you know, if you can't breathe, you can't run, jump, and do all the other things that Rachel Armstrong likes to do.
Sure. She's not exactly twirling off the rope. She's not a shooting star right now, but the last 5 minutes has been completely controlled by Onyx. Armstrong has a lot of fight left, though. Unwilling to go down. How many times so far have we seen Armstrong trying to fight to her feet as she's trying to do just right now?
I love the way that Onyx keeps. Oh, well, no. I was getting ready to say, I love the way that Onyx keeps grabbing her right by the neck and getting her back into that chin lock, taking her back down to the ground and just grinding her into the mat.
Armstrong trying to pull herself up in the corner and moves out of the way, but a nice roll. Throws an elbow. I don't know how many shots that Armstrong can throw to put Blair Onyx down. There's 3. Onyx down to one knee. Oh, a big spinning neck breaker. And Onyx goes down. Armstrong could be getting a second win right here. She comes off the ropes. Oh, Meteora. 1, 2. Kick out.
Well, we have made some distance from the point in the match where Blair Onyx was kicking out before 1, but she did still kick out, nevertheless, from that big Meteora by Rachel Armstrong.
Was that a jawbreaker by Onyx? Onyx trying to stay on Armstrong as Armstrong's gaining some fire back, just getting her second win together.
Oh,
wow. Armstrong staying on her feet, trading shots. She's got that for you. Oh, my goodness. What on earth? Taylor, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, we get covered in pea soup. I'm out.
That was terrifying. Oh, wow. Big choke slam by Onyx. That's it. 1, 2. Armstrong with the kick out.
We've got to admire the tenacity and the perseverance of Rachel Armstrong. But Blair Onyx, man, she is looking fantastic in this WrestleARTS debut contest for her.
Oh, I think you have a new favorite wrestler, Taylor.
Well, I don't know if she's my favorite, but she's up there.
Onyx easily hoists Armstrong up on her shoulders. Ooh, a schoolboy. One. Not even a one. You notice Onyx only needed 1 foot to kick out? Didn't even fully utilize both feet to try and push through. The power of Blair Onyx. It's incredibly just overwhelming here at WrestleARTS 13. Our 1-year anniversary of being at the Irving Theater, and thank you all for listening as this fight comes to the outside. Armstrong able to get Onyx back into the ring. Makes a cover, 1, 2. Onyx used the slightest of hip to break up that. Taylor, it is an interesting strategy. You try and make somebody kick out because it takes a lot of energy, right, to break up a pin. But do you feel like Onyx is using a lot of energy to get out of these pins?
Well, I think the size advantage that we talked about early on, I mean, Blair Onyx, it's going to take all of Rachel Armstrong to pin Blair Onyx down to the mat.
Based on the size advantage, I don't see Onyx having to use any energy right now to get Armstrong off of her. That was beautiful. That could be on 2. Just barely. Armstrong was just barely able to get the shoulder up. Blair Onyx has had an impressive debut here at WrestleARTS 13.
All the more impressive it will be if she can put Rachel Armstrong away and pick up the big win here.
Armstrong gets out of it. Inside cradle. 1, 2, 3.
Oh!
Surprise victory by the Shooting Star.
Excellent contest. Excellent debut.
Onyx can't believe it.
Rachel Armstrong picks up the win, and her
1, 2, 3. It's what happened last time Sage Phillips was at WrestleARTS. Avery, I beat you. You tried your best against the Catch Wrestling Casanova and you didn't get the job done. So now we have another match coming up, WrestleARTS. What gives? I beat him, I proved my point. In fact, WrestleARTS, you kept asking why I hate Avery so much. Avery, the reason why, because at one point in my career, I was just like you. I was young, I was naive, I was ready to take on the world by storm. And you know what happened? Got my ass beat in that ring. Wherever I went, everybody wanted to powerbomb Sage Phillips. Everybody wanted to beat him up to see if he could stick to it. And despite all the beatings I've taken, I am still thriving. And you, Avery, have yet to take your licks. November 25th, you want another round with Catch Wrestling Casanova? Be my guest, because I will maul you down.
You have Dale Patricks and you have Josh Crane. Qassius Starr came out here and gave an open challenge to a dragon. I don't know who Tripp Cassidy is. Taylor, do you?
Well, Tripp Cassidy was a major player here in the Midwest for quite some time, specifically in Indiana. He went on a little bit of a sabbatical. He's only had 1 match since 2020, I believe.
Okay.
But he has had a great deal of affiliation with the Dragons over the years. He actually helped train Dale Patricks. So he is essentially an honorary Dragon.
He certainly looks like a dragon. Would you agree? I don't know what that means.
I don't know about all of that, but I will say that that it is a very big deal in this area for Tripp Cassidy to be back this first time contest in quite some time. And you heard the crowd. You know, usually the crowd will boo the Dragons out of the building, but they were pretty pumped behind Tripp Cassidy despite their love for the Ebony Prince, Qassius Starr.
So you would say that a lot of people are somewhat excited to be him. It sounds like you just described him as somewhat of a legend in the Midwest.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a portion of this audience that is very hype about the return of Tripp Cassidy. And I think that anybody who's followed the Indiana and Midwest independent scene for quite some time, sitting at home watching this, is probably very excited to see it as well.
We also don't hear Qassius Starr talk very often. You know, this is very new to us. What's his beef with the Dragons, Taylor?
Well, I think it's part of that whole Mo Betta Mob versus Dragons rivalry that's been going on for many, many years. You know that Apollo Starr, of course, is Qassius Starr's dad. Apollo Starr is going to be defending the global openweight crown against Josh Crane, who is a prominent member of the Dragons, one of the tag team champions. So I think that ultimately Qassius, has just had his fill of the Dragons as part of this Mo Betta Mob versus Dragons beef.
I believe it was WrestleARTS 6 a year ago, too, where you could go back and watch the Dragons versus Qassius Starr and Drew Skills, Uncle Drew, where they had an incredible bout, which is where we saw the rise of Qassius Starr. Qassius Starr helped Dad and Uncle defend the tag belts against the Dragons. Qassius, wow, the Ebony Prince of the Mat with a beautiful splash. Oh, and here comes one more. Catches himself, almost came off the ropes. Wow, big moonsault by Starr. 1, 2. Kick out by Cassidy. We saw in the last year, Qassius Starr really pushed himself to grow as a fighter. He went and captured the Triple Threat Championship, and I would say he's probably been the most dominant Triple Threat champion. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
In this young promotion's history, Qassius Starr has really solidified himself towards the top with the Triple Threat Championship. The high-flying skills of the Ebony Prince of the Mat, right as he catches himself off the top, and Cassidy rebounds, catches him, and catches the kick by Qassius. Oh! Tripp with a big-time knee. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. That's got to be it.
Vicious suplex by Tripp, and Qassius kicks out. Qassius, who's been on a bit of a losing streak lately after losing the Triple Threat Championship. He also lost to David Ali, the Savior. And Qassius is trying to find himself here in end of 2023. I think you'll agree, Taylor. He has had an incredible year.
I definitely agree with that. Qassius Starr has looked fantastic over the course of the last year. He's won more than he's lost. And he certainly, oh man.
Beautiful step-up drop kick.
Look at the athleticism. He almost went too high. He almost went over him. But yeah, I think Qassius Starr, I think he got real comfortable with having some gold around his waist, and I think at this point he's probably looking to get some more back around his waist.
Well, it has to be difficult, too, because if you lost the Triple Threat Championship, that's one thing. Then he doesn't have a partner to go after the Global Tag Crown. His dad's the Global Openweight crown holder. Where do you go? It's easy to get stuck somewhere. So, well, if you're not the champion, what do you do? And maybe that's why he started asking, let me call out a Dragon, see if I can get something started here. I don't like him. And unfortunately, ended up drawing Tripp Cassidy.
Well, make no mistake, just like anybody else in WrestleARTS, ultimately Qassius Starr has his eye on getting to the Global Openweight crown, regardless of who holds it presently. So every match you have, that's ultimately the goal, is to get one step closer to that open global weight crown here in WrestleARTS.
Wow. The way that Tripp Cassidy just yanked Qassius Starr's arm right out of his socket and buried him into the corner. Taylor, what do you make of Tripp Cassidy this early into the contest?
I think that he's living up to the hype. I mean, my gosh, that's the second time now that I've seen him knock Qassius Starr in such a way that I'm waiting for a stretcher to come out.
Do you notice any similarities between Tripp Cassidy, the Black Diamond, Dale Patrick's, Josh Crane? I seem to see a level of viciousness and aggression in him.
I would agree with that. I think all of those Dragons have a very, very snug, very strong, aggressive style about them.
So he's just trying to quiet the crowd so everybody could hear people are moving out of the way. Oh, a brutal chop by Tripp Cassidy. The crowd getting out of the way for whatever Tripp's about to do here. Oh, that one was somehow even louder.
The referee up to 9 now. Just to remind folks, we do have a 20 count here in WrestleARTS. So ultimately, you can be out of the ring for up to 20 seconds before getting counted out.
That's good to know. Here comes one more. Telling people you might want to turn around. Oh! Oh, Tripp just accidentally chopped the post. If you recall, Taylor, that's the same tough post, just that hard steel that cost Qassius the Triple Threat Championship when he was pushed head first into that post at the Sahara Grotto at WrestleARTS 11.
I recall indeed his head made just a sickening thud against that post, and that, like you said, led to him losing the Triple Threat Championship.
What a mean boot to the face by Cassidy. Oh! Back suplex. That could be it. 1, 2. Qassius able to get a nice deep kick out there.
Great cover there by Tripp Cassidy. Had the arm and shoulders pinned down, but Qassius Starr just has an abundance of heart. He doesn't know how to quit.
Tripp resorted just trying to humiliate him, slapping the back of his head. Who does that? Oh my gosh. What a sadistic stretch by Cassidy. The blood-curdling screams of the Ebony Prince. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, have you ever heard somebody scream like that, Taylor?
What did Tripp Cassius pull out of his mouth?
Qassius Starr is wailing. Oh my gosh!
Well, whatever it was, it found its way into Cassius' mouth.
That's brutal. Tripp Williams holds it up.
Ugh.
That's absolutely filthy. I agree.
Crowd chanting, that's disgusting. Hard to argue with him.
Tripp Cassidy is taking a big piece of this match. And Qassius, what a desperation. Haymaker.
What a contest between these two individuals. Clearly, Qassius Starr had no way of knowing it would be Tripp Cassidy to answer the challenge, given that he has adjusted his game plan well, although right now Tripp Cassidy back in control.
This is a level of ruthlessness from Tripp Cassidy that we don't often see in the other Dragons.
Well, I don't know about that. All of the Dragons have a penchant for ruthlessness and aggression. However, Tripp Cassidy certainly wants to put an exclamation point on his return here to Indianapolis tonight.
Well, and what I wonder is, you said that he had a hand in training some of the other Dragons?
Yeah, Dale Patrick specifically.
I'm wondering if this is where they got it from. Oh my goodness, another big, brutal slam by Tripp Cassidy. You don't see that every day.
Also had a hand in training our own Sage Phillips, who also has a penchant for aggression.
That's a very good point. Sage Phillips, who seems to enjoy damaging others. I think we should have had this show in October, Taylor, with all the Halloween, just the eeriness
There is
Blair Onyx and Cassidy.
Yeah, there's certainly a Rocky Horror Picture Show vibe. Oh, man.
Agreed. No! That could be it. A big rolling cutter by Qassius. He ducks underneath off the second rope. Another cutter.
That one more of a stunner, but... Oh! No! 3 in a row.
2. Cassidy was able to roll with his feet high up, and that helped put some pressure into the kick out.
Qassius Starr climbing the ropes. I thought maybe he was going to be looking for the frog splash, which he's used to finish many a foe here. And he may have had that in mind, but Tripp Cassidy found his way to his feet a little too early for the frog splash to end up taking hold.
I don't really remember people kicking out of the frog splash, Taylor. That's pretty much a fight ender.
No, nobody so far has kicked out of the frog splash when Qassius Starr has applied it. So that absolutely probably would have finished it. Absolutely probably.
Qassius normally seems at home up here on the top rope, but right now he doesn't seem to know where he is. a nice big elbow to the back of the head of Tripp Cassidy. Can Qassius take back the momentum and find himself up on the top rope? Oh, my goodness.
No man's land.
Oh! Holy cow.
If Qassius Starr had had enough to capitalize and get the cover, I think that would have been the 3. What an impressive maneuver off the ropes there by Qassius Starr.
Both men trying to get to their feet. Tripp misses a devastating kick that could have been a fight ender. Qassius finding some energy. Oh! Nice discus elbow. Oh no. Tripp tells everybody to stay quiet. Ooh. Those are brutal European uppercuts to the chest.
Oh, big Superman-style punch to the face. Oh, another one.
I didn't hear what Tripp said. Did you catch it?
I did not, but whatever it was, Qassius Starr did not appreciate it.
Nope. I didn't hear it, and I didn't appreciate it.
I'm sure he wasn't saying, great contest, man. You're doing a heck of a job. Keep it up.
Tripp is... Oh, wow. Tripp is very quickly able to get his limbs up and around for very devastating shots. You see the way he quickly got his foot up there for a big boot, and I appreciate how he uses his limbs to just extract damage in a short environment.
For a guy who hasn't had much in the way of matches over the last 3 years, Tripp Cassidy, you can't even tell that there's any ring rust there.
Yeah, you just mentioned that. That hadn't occurred to me, but you're absolutely right. Qassius goes underneath. Oh, big DDT by the Ebony Prince of the Mat.
Tripp Cassidy said rest in peace. I think he was thinking about a tombstone, but
Running drop kick to the corner.
Qassius Starr found his way out, capitalized in a big way. And now could we see that frog splash that we were talking about before? We haven't seen anyone
Here
kick
it
out
comes.
of it.
Frog splash to Tripp Cassidy. 1, 2, 3.
And another victim to the frog splash. 1, 2, 3.
Qassius Starr. He called this shot. He wanted a dragon. He didn't expect to be getting a legend dragon.
What an incredible fight, Qassius Starr, man.
Big victory.
Absolutely.
¿Qué tal mi raza de Indianápolis, Indiana? Los invita el modo Diablo de la lucha libre este noviembre 25, sábado. No se lo pierdan con WrestleARTS. Por primera vez lo está haciendo posible. Manny, Cortez, el modo Diablo, está presente.
Next time on Unleashed, rivals meet again as Sage Phillips accepts the rematch challenge from Avery Hertz. Then it's a Cinco Hombre La Lucha. Atomico, Mike Havoc, Alpha Danger, Diamante Negro, and Manny Cortez all collide in this chaotic 5-man contest. All this and more next time on Unleashed.